nice.
Yes. So get that man with no fly.
You better walk, Queen.
All right, y'all. So, Brandon, you were the lowest seed, bro. So, call the head too. Oh, you just gonna make? You want her to go first? You want to go first? You got to flip, brother. She wants you to flip. Head to tail. It's heads. Y'all, you gonna go first? Everybody give it up for Vivian Tang, MVP.
I gave birth to a target, a brilliant and beautiful bullseye of a boy, his skin just black enough to be stained red and white. I'm frightened. I don't know much about riflery except that this world is full of marksmen and my son is a target, a potential victim to the black-top bloodshed bloodline of a black boy whose breath is trying to be blown from his body, and oh my God, he deserves so much more than the prospect of being shot on prospects, all because he can cross or check another boy who just wants to move the target from his neck. These boys will die for their respect, but live for nothing honorable. Too afraid to admit they are vulnerable, so they let their spirits become as hard and misshapen as the steel that will riddle up their bodies at will, while these tough guy games leave mothers in pain and crying. And I'd be lying if I said my son was not available to be a target. Not able to have his life bargained for over some retro Jordan 4s, and I've tried to hide behind my eyelids. But the truth is, I have a kid who is subject to violence, a seedling that may never grow into a tree, a grain of sand that the tide may try to wash into the sea. But I can't live my life thinking that one day my child's smile might be a distant memory. Misery is found in the middle of the map as the guns clap and crack domes. The Glocks pop and shatter homes, and weary women write sad poems, trying to suppress the tears that our pregnant eyes have been holding. And I'm raising a son not knowing or able to tell, will he be taken by the cops like Sean Bell? Initially, when I wrote this poem, this would be the space for names, the space where you go down the victims of people who've been taken, but it's too many names. But my heart goes out to every boy taken before reaching his potential. All of this pain cannot be put to rest with one pencil or one poet. My soul gets lit and ignites my firecracker heart, and I wish that firecrackers were the only bang in the dark. But more than likely, the streets are just hardened under the weight of a new soul, and this just in, the new trend is bullet holes and funeral funds, and if you thought they had stopped in Tuskegee, the new wave of black genocide has begun. I do not want to be one of the millions of mothers left missing her only son, but that boy is a target. He has been a target since his conception, yet they tell us that our children are supposed to be our blessings. A notion I held on to the full time I was expecting, neglecting the fact that I would be giving birth to a target, a brilliant and beautiful bullseye of a boy, his skin just black enough to be stained red and white.
Brandon the Million Nelson, everybody.
Go in, bro.
Got it.
I had some good days, and And I've had some hills to climb. See, I have some weary days and some lonely nights. But when I look around and I think things over, all of my... See, I've been writing poetry for a little while now. I've seen ups, I've seen downs. I've made friends, I've come out with enemies, I've tested the limits of my mind, my soul running on empty, and yet I'm still here. Because I'm still here, writing away my years in exchange for tears. Those that come with the brink of happiness, and those that come with the brink of darkness. Because I'll be honest in saying, I get so caught up in faces that the world I exist as king becomes spaceless, and my words end up misplaced. My poetry ends up a face fest. So busy writing these words to make fingers snapping, hands clap. I might as well be the next nigga who comes out in rap. But the many times I found myself talking retro my own list, that the words weren't pure. Because the stories I was telling was from frustrations and not my love. Because the fame poets game is an addictive drug. And I feel like I had glued my nose to somebody's asshole, reporting everyone's input and never really being happy with my own. Yeah, I know all my demons ain't gone, but guess what? It feels good to be home. Because it's like bliss when the words start to talk to me again. Because we've been fighting along with you. We've been fighting so long to get with friends. Now I am the father that struggles to raise his kids, because they should never have to know what child support is, or a teacher that pleads with students. Understand, these days, education only been open for a game plan. It's what you do that determines where you go. So let nobody, not your mama, your daddy, your boys, some nigga on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or anywhere else tell you stop at that first no. So I wrote these words for you. The you who hates turning to the news and finds another issue. For the you that plays in the street lights with a box of tissue. Or maybe you just can't get through a melody and the words not hit you. For the you who gets to a mic and forget your words from a miscue. See, I write these words for those whose talent doesn't allow them to say what they feel creatively. For my little girl that I prayed this and birthed the baby mistakenly, I wrote these words for you. Because I write these words for the kid thinking about bringing the gun to school. I know that feeling. I've been there too. That a person proclaims the world don't understand what you going through. These words are still from my friends Nathan Bowie, Larry Henderson, DeMarco Harvey, Baby Charles Farmer Riddell, J. Ramon Jackson, Chancellor Cody, and Tanisha Gilmore. Every friend I've lost in this rat race. For the Jesus I'm praying, when it's all over, I'll get to see his face. For my grandmother, the remains that shot in my eye, my mother, who told me don't you ever say die. For my brother that is getting ready to get out of labor work, although he was never supposed to know what it means to be free. And my father that I love, because after all that misunderstanding, he is my best friend, because it was him not being there that served as the best lesson he ever taught me. And to this day, I will never understand why God chose to make me a poet, but my heart is his and he knows it. So despite the roadblocks laid my way, despite who remembers what I said at the end of the day, these words will fall from the pen of someone usual, someone that's just finding his way on the road to renewal. So all this failure I've been enduring, I'm using it as fuel. Because no matter what you or you think, this life I live ain't for me, it's for them. And I wrote these words for you. And then you said the best people over top, give it up for
Man, I don't even know, bro. I don't know who won this one. This is gonna be tough. It's gonna be real tough, but we're gonna see. Give it up for Evian Payne, everybody. Bring the Major Nelson. That means if you're not going, you know what I'm saying, you go back to the next round. If you go up against Jason, we'll find out who's going to be the last person to face y'all, all right? Give it up for both of them because they both just